IIM Ahmedabad, the OG of Indian MBA programs and the big daddy when it comes to the most reputable MBA program in India. In this video, I'll be focused on the PGPX program, which is the executive MBA offering from IIM Ahmedabad, focused on candidates with more than 4 years of work experience. If you have less than 4 years of work experience, you should focus on the PGDM program. But if you have already crossed more than 4 years of work experience, then PGPX is the offering that you are more suitable for. Now, I know sometimes the PGPX offering is considered second tier, and I am happy to talk more about it if you are worried about that kind of a branding. But the truth is, IIM Ahmedabad is still the most reputable MBA college or the brand you can have on your resume when it comes to business roles or switching into consulting, tech product management roles, or even investment banking. Now, recently they made a big splash by opening a campus in Dubai. That is a great, amazing news. Finally, an Indian MBA program is going on global frontiers and trying to compete with other international MBA programs. So I'm really happy. But right now, we don't have too much information about the Dubai campus program. So that's why I will not cover that program. In this video, I'll focus more on the PGPX offering in the Ahmedabad campus itself. I will cover the key themes that you need to crack IIM Ahmedabad PGPX program, starting with class profile, employment reports, tuition fees, deadlines, and the application process in detail so that you are fully aware about your applications and how can you stand out in this competitive process. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Ameer. I'm founder of Admit Portal and I have been an admissions consultant for last 8 years. In these 8 years, I have helped hundreds of candidates exactly like you crack into Ivy League MBA programs like IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, ISB, and even internationally into Harvard, Stanford, Columbia, Wharton. So if you are considering an MBA program this year, and if you're looking at the executive MBA offerings, then feel free to stick around till the end because I'm going to walk you through step by step on how can you crack Ahmedabad and what are some of the key details you should be aware of. Let's jump right into the class profile. If you can see the screen on my right, this is Ahmedabad class of 2025, which means the class that started earlier this year in April. And what Ahmedabad tells us is that they recruited a class where the average GRE was 324 and the average GMAT was 697. This 697 is the old classic score. On the focus edition, it will be closer to 645. The average age of candidate was roughly closer to 31 and the years of work experience was 7.5. Now, few of these things are very important to consider because when in India we consider the executive MBA program, a lot of candidates are also considered ISB. And I have made a separate video about ISB. I'll link it somewhere in the comments or maybe in the information card here. But the reason I'm referencing ISB here is, see, when you look at ISB's number, the average experience at ISB is 4 years and the average age is also slightly younger. Ahmedabad's offering is actually meant for senior candidates who have crossed 6 to let's say 10 years of work experience. That's why some of these stats are on the higher side. And if you are having experience of more than 8 years, Ahmedabad is a better fit for you than ISB's PGP offering. And I'm happy to chat more about it. If you are conflicted, leave it in the comments below as to why I'm saying Ahmedabad is a better fit, or feel free to DM me or WhatsApp me through Admit Portal, or if you have my number from my website. But I genuinely believe once you cross certain number of years of experience, you should go and get an MBA program and sit with peers who are of your equal age and who can help you in your career journey going forward. See, a very simple example to consider here is, if you are having 8 to 10 years of work experience and you have offers from Ahmedabad and ISB, in ISB you are one of the most senior candidates doing the program. Even if you get a good employment upon graduation, remember 90% of class is junior to you. It is very rare that they will be able to help you move forward in your career after graduation. Most likely you can refer their CVs into better position and pull them forward. But somebody with 4 or 5 years of experience, they can't really help you move forward in the career. That's why sitting in a class where the average experience is closer to you, you are sitting with your peers who can help you out even after graduation. Where everyone have 8 to 10 years of work experience, they can help each other out. But if you're stuck in a much younger classroom, then you are the odd one out. I hope it makes sense. It is slightly complicated. And if you want to have a longer discussion, happy to have a longer discussion any given day. But moving forward in the sake of time and keeping this video short, Male-female ratio, it's always a bit skewed in India. But more importantly, if you keep going down, they give you all the educational background candidates are coming from. Obviously, engineering, science, and tech is surprisingly make the second highest percentage. In terms of sectors, tech, finance, government, and then consulting. These are fairly expected. Moving on to the employment report, Ahmedabad, being a government-funded institution, have the obligation to put out a well-audited employment report. Now, it is not the prettiest of the employment reports out there, but it is hardcore audited facts that you can actually trust. And this becomes very important in situations like these, where the economy is going bad, the job scenario is not that great, and there are private institutions that are hiding their employment report and not publishing on time. Recently, there have been news about IIM Udaipur, I think, which was encouraging their current students to opt out of placements if they were not employed at graduation. And these are some sneaky tactics which usually private institutions employ to increase or inflate their CTC and employment percentages. But when it comes to the big brands, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, they have to put out audited reports and you can trust them fully. So I'll quickly show you the employment report on my right here. As I mentioned, this is not a pretty employment report to go through. It is actually scanned PDF. A couple of things I'll highlight and then you can read the PDF at your own sweet time. The class size was closer to 125, 126. It is a fairly small classroom between Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. All of these are very small classroom. If you are comparing to ISB is closer to 800, 900 candidate. IIMs are closer to 100 or even less than 100. And Calcutta is literally like 60 to 70 candidates. Out of these 125 candidates, majority of them went into consulting. Consulting is the highest after MBA. That is typically the trend from all of these programs. Then comes your IT consulting and finance sector. Small fact, outside of India, employment is only two lucky people. Probably they had offers from outside of India even before they came back and did their MBA. In terms of salary figures and CTC amount, Ahmedabad averages have been consistent around 30 lakhs. That's the figure you can look at here. Maximum has been 35, 36. Again, if you're comparing it with ISB is typically at 33, 35 range. But again, please pay attention. These are CTC numbers and CTC numbers can vary depending on how a school have decided to report them. In terms of Ahmedabad, this is total guaranteed cash component. That means it does not consider equity if I'm reading it. So these numbers are slightly lower if you consider it to ISB because ISB puts out CTC. These are slightly different number, guaranteed cash component. You can read the details going forward. They have broken it down depending on the sector, where was the minimum, maximum, median, mean. So if you are interested in any particular sector, please go through the employment report in detail. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Happy to answer. The last two things, tuition fees and deadlines. Now, Ahmedabad's executive MBA is slightly expensive. If you can look on my screen, the PGPX program will cost you roughly 34 to 36 lakhs, depending on if you take the single housing or the married housing option. It is equivalent to, let's say, ISB. ISB also costs you 35 to 36 lakhs only. And similarly, I think Bangalore and Calcutta are slightly cheaper, but not that cheap. So 35 lakhs is roughly what you can expect to shell out if you are considering this MBA program. In terms of application process, now applications are open. If you are watching this video, then for 2025-2026 cycle, applications are already open. I'll quickly show you what are the key criteria you should pay attention to and what does the application process looks like. It is slightly different than ISB and other IIMs, so please pay attention. If you can see my screen, the couple of things that you need to pay attention is that minimum age of 25 years as of 31st March 2026, not this year, next year. And same thing in terms of minimum years of work experience, you need to have 4 years as of 31st March next year, March 2026. So if you meet these two criteria, you can go ahead and apply. Others are basic, that you need to have a GMAT GRE score and a bachelor's degree, which most of you will hopefully have. The reason I said the application process is slightly different is because if you pay attention, IIM Ahmedabad asks you to submit an application. First, it is only 1 or 2 page application. They do not have any essays. Most other programs like ISB, Bangalore, Calcutta, they ask you to write essays during your application. But in terms of Ahmedabad just asks you to submit a form, throw your hat in the ring, and after that they shortlist you and ask you to write essays and give interview as well. So that's how the application process is slightly different. If you are considering Ahmedabad, go ahead and file the application form for sure. From what I know anecdotally, almost 80 to 90% of the applications get shortlisted and they are given the chance to appear for the interview and submit their essays. Ahmedabad usually goes earlier than ISB, so the deadline is September 8. You can expect a shortlist announcement fairly soon by September 15, and then you will be asked to submit your essays and resume along with an interview invite as well. So if you are shortlisted, you get interview invite as well as you are asked to submit your essays and resume both together. After that, of course, there are multiple rounds. So round 1 is going on September 8th. So please pay attention to this deadline, this step 2 here. And then round 2 will go in November 26th, again before ISB. If you are interested to know more about the program, definitely go and sign up for webinars and events. Quickly show you, Ahmedabad is hosting a few events. They typically do one event every 2 weeks. Whenever you are looking at this video, you can always go and find the most recent events happening. That's all I had for Ahmedabad. This video is short and sweet because I could not cover the essay questions and letter of recommendations because Ahmedabad changes their essay questions every year. So once round 1 application and shortlists are out, that's where we will get to know the question Ahmedabad is asking this year, and I'll make a video covering those essays and give you my tips on how to write those essays as well. But if you are interested, I hope you found the video helpful. If you have any question, like always, don't forget to subscribe and leave it in the comments. I typically go through the comments on a fairly regular basis and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. If you are interested in ISB, I have already made a video on it. I'll link it in the card here, so please go watch it as well and see which one is a better fit for you this year. Thank you.